clouds definitely swooped in today. Let's see if it starts raining. And what was going on today? Still a bunch of war stuff, I guess, as expected. Although this was kind of interesting where with that recent announcement in the US where they say they killed a person that was on their terrorist list with a drone strike. I guess with that in mind, they're possibly going to be selling the same equipment to other parts of the world, maybe anyways. This one says, India negotiating for drone used in attack on Zawahiri. When Al-Qaeda chief Ayman al-Zawahiri was killed by US forces in a drone strike on Afghanistan capital Kabul, the development was watched keenly in India. For New Delhi has been negotiating with Washington for the sale of similar drones, Predator, that can launch the Hellfire missile, which was used to kill Zawahiri. The Ministry of Defense is processing a case to get 30 such drones, 10 each for the Navy, Air Force, and the Army. Pictures from the Kabul home from Zawahiri was killed showed no signs of an explosion, pointing to the use of the secret weapon called the Hellfire R9X. The weapon has no explosive warhead, but deploys 6 blades, which fly at high speed, crushing and slicing the targeted person. That's brutal, because usually when you hear this stuff, firing a missile, you would assume it blows up. But according to this, it actually goes and slices the person up. It's like something straight out of like a horror movie or something. Officially, the US Department of Defense or the CIA have never acknowledged the use of the Hellfire R9X. The Hellfire missile has several variants. The R9X variant is deployed to target a terrorist without damage to civilians, what the conventional missile won't do on exploding. As per available data, the Hellfire R9X is a little more than 5 feet long and weighs just over 100 pounds and doesn't leave behind any signs such as burnt out shells or managed marks. Although that size, you'd better believe there'll be something left behind for people to see, wouldn't they? That's a little unfortunate, as that's what a lot of people say in terms of war. People profit over it, so they'll start selling weapons and stuff to people, which makes you think too. Which, oddly enough, when you're fighting a war against certain people and all that, afterwards you'd be wondering, hey, where'd you get all these weapons from? Well, you sold it to us. Wouldn't that be the case in a lot of, I guess, scenarios? And with the tension between China and Taiwan, I guess here it shows there's more, I guess, aircraft going around the area. And it says here 27 PLA aircraft entered the surrounding area of ROC on August 3rd, 2022. And you can see these are the type of airplanes they claim that are, I guess, flying around the area. Now, to my knowledge, China's saying they're just doing a quote drill, which may be the case, but it could be done as a way to intimidate other people, possibly. It makes me wonder too if one of the strategy is, hey, let's just do all this stuff, freak people out, get them to destroy one of us or whatever first, then we can use that as a technical excuse to say, now we're gonna go in for the kill, that type of thing. Again, though, I know some people in Taiwan, they're just not taking it very, I guess, seriously, because they say it's been happening for years and years where they get threatened, but nothing's actually being done. On a semi-lighter story I read, although it was odd, during these times, a lot of people are traveling again, although this story talked about how, I guess, a couple kind of got maybe swindled when it came to dining out. How about this one? This one says, couple stung by notorious restaurant charging £335 for 2 drinks and oysters. Holy smokes, that's expensive. I know a lot of people, they take advantage of tourists, but this is a little nuts, isn't it? It says a newlywed couple say they received a €400 bill on their Greek honeymoon after ordering 1 beer, 1 cocktail, and a dozen oysters. Lindsay Breen and husband Alex, both 30, claim restaurant staff didn't give them a drinks menu with prices on it before shocking them with the sum. Instead of receiving a bill at the table, Alex says he was taken to a back room to pay. So just taking, I guess, their recommendations without actually knowing what the price was. And it says here apparently when the husband went to the bathroom, he thought he saw a menu that said it was like, what, €29 per oyster? What's so special about an oyster to be €29 for that price? In the end, they paid the bill and all that, as they mentioned, but it just goes to show, I guess, when you're traveling, you have to be a little savvy in terms of what the rates are. Kind of reminds me of stories I read often where travelers, for example, when they don't know where they are, they'll ask for things like a cab, and if there's, I guess, like an independent guy, he knows it's a tourist, the person might scam them. They say, how much does it cost? They come up with a ridiculous rate. They just don't know because they're not around the area. Whereas when people they do know, they're like, no way, I'm only giving you this. I know this is a fair deal. It's kind of crazy though, especially during these times. What's going on? Did this business lose so much business during the lockdown that they have to make it up in this way? Because that's not the right way to do it. Alright, see you guys later.